Hey, we want to welcome former bat boy Eddie Miller to the game tonight. That's Eddie on the right. He's now 82. He was a bat boy during the Cubs' 1952 season. And that team photo on the left, I got to look at it a little earlier. I'm just fascinated by it. Joe Cavaretta is in the middle there. Great stuff. Just fun to see the ballpark. Like in 1952, Cubs were not wearing pinstripes at home that season. Peraza takes a strike.
I wonder if they sent Eddie to go find a box of curveballs. The key to the batter's box. All the other bat boy hazing rituals.
He bounced to Russell. Peraza got a late break out of the box, so he's out by a full step.
Jim Ewell, the long-time trainer of the Astros, used to get the newbies, the new bat boys, or clubhouse attendants would come around, and Jim would say, hey, go get me a bucket of steam out of the sauna. Kid would dutifully grab his bucket and head down there and kind of stand around like a knucklehead for a while trying to figure out how to make it happen.
Caught the corner. Hamill ahead. 1-2. Driven out into right center, and Hayward will have to go all the way to the wall to get it. Iribarren around second, and he's going to have 3. Head first slide into third.
And I think Jason was surprised a little bit. That ball was hit as sharply as it was. Took kind of a direct lateral route across the outfield and was not able to cut this ball off.
Third triple this season for Iribarren in just 14 games, and now the Cubs will bring their infielders in against Joey Votto. And would you consider just walking him here intentionally?
Yes, absolutely would consider it. My fear is there's a slugger on deck and the wind's blowing out.
I want to add another base runner to the mix.
Yeah, I mean, it's
wind's died down, at least for the moment, but it still feels like a very offensive friendly night.
Credit to the pitchers that it has not been to this point in the ball game.
Votto pops it up. That's trouble. Shallow center field, and it'll get down. And the Reds lead 2-0. How about that? You bring the infield in. Votto pops one in between the drawn-in infield and the outfield.
Yeah, I guess that comes under the category of when you're hot, you're hot. And just about everything Joey Votto does these days turns to gold for him. And yeah, people will look at the box score. They should have walked him. They should have put him on. Well, he hit a little pop-up, folks. He got lucky.
And Duvall with Votto at first. 2-0 Cincy. Mike Montgomery will not make a start through this turn. The Cubs have been using 6 starters, but with an off day coming up Thursday, he will instead be available out of the bullpen. Not quite sure if he'll make a start next week. It's possible. Whatever plans the Cubs have, I believe at the moment, are in pencil for next week. The other thing is, and we've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating a couple of times at least here these next 2 weeks, is to not look ahead at the rotation next week and feel like you're going to find out who's starting game 1 of the playoffs based on the regular season rotation because of the 4 off days. After the final game a week from Sunday, Joe Madden theoretically, JD, could start any of his guys.
Anybody would be available. Yep.
And not knowing your first round opponent, I don't know if he'll know by the end of next week for sure who will start game 1. And really the first 2 starters become important. I think the conversation about 1-2 versus 3-4, your top 2 guys theoretically could make 2 starts in a division series. Your opening game pitcher and your game 2 pitcher could pitch in game 5, not necessarily game 3. So I think that decision between the game 2 and 3 starters more important than 1 and 2. Line shot deep and caught. The ball was knuckling and Coghlan able to handle it.
Hang with him again. Duvall hit a bullet last time. A line out to short this time. Squares it up with Coghlan there to make the play on him. So it's an 0 for 3 for Duvall tonight, despite really good contact twice. A good pitch to hit. If it's that airborne, it's a home run.
Former Red Travis Wood cranking it up in the bullpen.
Cubs having a hard time pushing just pushing runners across, but getting men on base. Just 2 hits tonight. Offensively, second half they have not been as good as they were in the first half. Less than 4 runs per game here in the month of September.
Ball 1 to Phillips. Got some funky looking batting gloves. Maybe like a teal look. I like it. Big bat waggle. Slider strike.
Bruce Bochy making some changes in his bullpen. He's removed Santiago Casilla from the closer's role. So Hunter Strickland and Derek Law will get save opportunities for the Giants.
If they don't make the postseason, that's going to be one of the biggest collapses, right? When you think about it, they had the best record in the majors in the first half. Better than the Cubs. And they're on the brink. You often think about September collapses, but this has gone on since
more of a gradual,
mid-July. And having said that, I think if they do make it, they become a very dangerous team in the National League playoffs. Down the left field line near the bullpen and untouched until the fan grabs it on the bounce. Joe Smith has joined Travis Wood.
You mentioned that Tim Tebow was reporting to the Instructional League. If you want, you could buy a Tim Tebow Mets jersey online. They're available.
15?
Yeah.
Was his NFL number, right?
I'm assuming so.
2-2 is hit in the air to left. Playable for Coughlin. And he's got it right on the edge of the track to end the inning. Reds add to their lead on the Votto Bloop single. It's 2-0 in the sixth.
Know your financial plan won't keep you up at night. Know you have insights from professional investment strategists to help set your mind at ease. Know that planning for retirement can be the least of your worries. With the guidance of a PNC Investments financial advisor, know you can get help staying on track for the future you've always wanted.
He played 182 games for your Chicago Bears, accumulating 41.5 sacks and 22 interceptions. And this season, he's tackling Bears coverage on CSN Chicago. Don't miss The Hard Count, featuring Brian Urlacher, presented by Restore, Thursdays at 10:30.
This is the last place you'd expect us to talk about staying connected with state-of-the-art technology. Or wow you with a massive touchscreen. Then again, you probably didn't think you'd need your survival skills back on the road either. Jeep Cherokee. Conquer all the world's most challenging places. Celebrating 75 years of the most awarded SUV lineup ever. Or get 20% off MSRP cash allowance for an average of $7,600 in savings on select Cherokee Trailhawk models and dealer stock.
Wow. Did not see that coming.
Something else you didn't see coming? Outstanding customer service delivered by Collision Pros who ensure your low point ends on a high note. You may not see it coming, but you'll know where you're going. Get to Gerber.
Cubs, Reds, tomorrow at 7 on CSN.
Welcome back. Unforgettable games, undeniable greatness, and unstoppable drama. 2016 postseason begins October 4th. Go to MLB.com/postseason for a full schedule. Unforgettable. Undeniable.
First pitch strike. A BP fastball from Adelman on Fowler.
I mentioned Adelman pitched collegiately at Georgetown. Just let anybody in there. Yeah, boy, get after that thing. Yeah, I'll do it. Double dog dare you.
Don't you think I won't?
But you know, Georgetown, a tremendous academic school. Dexter Fowler was recruited to play basketball at Harvard. They also had a scholarship offer to play baseball at the University of Miami.
Signed with the Rockies instead. Driven deep. And Duvall reaches out and makes the catch on the warning track for the out.
One of the better balls hit by the Cubs here tonight. Out number one. Dexter, what round was he drafted in?
I want to say, I'm going to look, but
yeah,
I don't think it was his. I want to say like 14th round.
Really?
I could be wrong. Let me see. I don't know why I say that, but 14th round, 2004. Bryant in the air. This one not quite as deep, and Duvall has this one too. So yeah, 14th round. Even if he's overpaid for that slot, probably didn't get a huge signing bonus.
Yeah, it's a risky move. Turned down a opportunity to go to Harvard, but it worked out. Obviously, he had confidence in his skills.
According to Baseball Reference bullpen page, he was signed for $925,000. So yeah, they made it worth his while. The 14th round.
So maybe he would have been drafted higher, but they were afraid he was going to go to college and scared some teams away.
And because he was going to go, they had to overpay him to not. That set at the time a new record for that round of the 925,000.
Because that would have been after the draft and follow classes, correct?
I'm not sure. His bonus was the equivalent of a high second round pick.
Because there used to be a thing called draft and follow. A guy would be drafted 1 year, not sign, and the club would hold the rights to him up until just prior to the next year's draft. So you see a lot of guys that would sign for big bonuses when they were drafted in the lower round, but if they'd stayed in the draft, it would have been a much higher pick the next year.
Left field corner and deep. Duvall can't make the play, and he reaches into the vines, which is very dangerous. He did find the ball as Rizzo's got a double, but that is a risky maneuver by Duvall. I don't know if the ball was easily visible or if he had to reach into the vines to get it. But once you reach in, they will not let you put your hands up and call it a double. Let's see. I think he could have just put his hands up.
He should have left that one alone. He's lucky if that gets hung up in there. Rizzo could have potentially circled the bases. As it is, it's a 2-base hit, a 2-out double for Rizzo. So the Cubs finally do have a man in scoring position.
To follow up your draft and follow point, I think that was also just for like junior colleges, right? I don't think you could go to a Division I school as a draft and follow.
I believe you're right.
And they no longer have that. A strike on Zobrist. Carl Edwards Jr. is up in the bullpen.
This is Ben on Adelman here tonight. Single and then a line out last time up.
In the air to right, and this will end the inning. So 2-0 Reds as we go to the 7th.
You're taking an enormous risk speaking with us, so thank you.
Of course.
What was the key to toppling this notorious crime ring?
By keeping my identity a secret, I was able to witness the atrocities firsthand. I've been undercover for 5 years. Anonymity is critical to my survival.
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest fares as low as $59 one way. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Hey, I fix my heart and my broken bones. If I can't stand up on my own, don't make me stand alone. Lift me up so I can see the light. When the sun goes down, I will lay in your arms tonight. Don't be afraid, your heart's been repaid.
Comparing midsize sedans? Here's what puts the Kia Optima ahead of the Nissan Altima. The Kia Optima has an available surround view monitor and turbo engine. The Nissan Altima does not. The 2016 Kia Optima is a KBB.com Best Buy Award winner. The Nissan Altima came up short there, too. Discover the next generation Optima. It's not your average midsize sedan. Lease the Optima LX for only $179 a month or get 0% financing. Visit your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Kia dealer for details.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. Your Coors Light game report. Joe Madden having discussed how he will treat these next couple weeks in a spring training type of manner. And Theo Epstein actually followed up on that this afternoon, saying one of his fondest memories of the season so far was the vibe in the clubhouse following the opening night game in Anaheim, knowing how well these guys had played, and they realized all the things they had talked about during spring training they had started to execute that evening. And he said that'll be the same type of mindset they want to take forward into October. And guys, today Joe Madden meeting with the hitters and kind of laying out a few things that he feels like the guys should be working on in the next 13 regular season games, if you will, and then look to execute come October.
Kelly, thank you. Scott Schebler bounces to Chris Bryant over on the right side, and he'll head back over to third.
Yeah, I think more than anything from Joe, it's just a reminder. Okay, you know, we had our celebratory weekend. Still got games to play. We're getting ready for the postseason, but we still have goals. Best overall record in the league. Want to get to 100 wins. Just due diligence. Concentrate. Have good at bats. Play the game the right way. Take extra bases when available.
Want to know on Suarez. 10th third baseman in Reds history to have a 20 homer season. He's sitting right at 20.
First to do it was Gene Freese in 1961. That's important because his daughter Daphne used to cut my hair down in Texas.
Really?
Yeah. See how well that worked out for me. One your fault, Daphne.
I was going to say nothing to do with her abilities, right?
No, not at all.
Our good friend Bonnie Hunt, Chicago native, will sing the 7th inning stretch tonight. Rick Porcello got his 21st win. Red Sox 5-2 over the Orioles.
Boy, it's going to be hard not to give him that American League Cy Young Award.
Barnhart takes a strike.
Tanaka leads the American League in ERA at 2.97. Chris Sale, the 2.03. Corey Kluber. There's a number of candidates.
2 strikes on Barnhart. Bonnie, you got a big group here? How many people? 25. All related. Fantastic. That's high, and it's 1-2. Cubs down 2-0. Phillips a homer in the 2nd. Votto an RBI single in the 6th. Hamill at 95 pitches. Fastball with some tailing movement outside 2-2. Pitcher Adelman on deck. Would be his 3rd plate appearance. You know, Brian Price is already very pleased with what he's done on the mound.
Oh, what a thrill for Adelman. 11th big league start here in Wrigley Field against the best team in baseball, and he's tossing up zeros. The Reds have pitched 7 shutouts since the All-Star break, tied with the Cubs and Angels for most in Major League Baseball.
Hey, Cub fans, Joe Madden wants you to own his car. Joe is raffling off his signature vehicle for charity. Raffle tickets are $100 each. They're available in fan services during the remaining home games this week or at 3721 North Clark Street. Full details are available at Cubs.com/Joe's Raffle. And the 2-2. And another foul. Barnhart, a switch hitter. This will be pitch number 100 for Jason. And it's full 3-2. Doesn't have to give in here with the pitcher on deck. Coughlin and Fowler in the area. It'll be Dexter Fowler for the grab. Bonnie Hunt coming up. It is the 7th inning stretch. It's brought to you by Mazda.
Tonight's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, actress and Chicago native Bonnie Hunt.
Let me hear you, Chicago fans. Come on, Cubbies. Take me out to the ball.
The 7th inning stretch is presented by Mazda. In every car we make, you'll see why driving matters.
36 hours ago, you were Jeff and Susan. Now, you're Mom and Dad. But you've got this. You read the baby manuals, you baby-proofed the house, bought yourself a safe SUV, and you're totally ready for this. Right? The Mazda CX-5.
Now that Big Papi's retiring, he's being smarter with his money. I need to be smart with my money. So he's become a super savvy shopper. Oh. That's why the Xfinity Best Offer of the Year is a home run. Lock in your rate for 2 years, plus get the X1 voice remote.
There is no crying in baseball.
It's the Big Papi of deals.
I'm not crying. My eyes are just sweating.
Score our Best Offer of the Year on the X1 Triple Play from Comcast for only $89.99 a month and lock in your rate for 2 years. Go online, call, or visit today.
Hey fans, when you think mortgage in Chicago, think eClick Lending. Whether looking to purchase or refi, never pay lender fees with eClick Lending. Visit us online at eClickLending.com to lock in your low rate today. eClick Lending, point, click, save. Clock. It's go time here for the Cubs. Bottom of the 7th. Time to make a little noise.
Ball one on Addison Russell.
There is action in the Reds bullpen.
Yeah, you mentioned their struggles in relief, which I'm sure earlier this year added a few years to Brian Price. That's deep, and it's going to go for Russell. They're on the board, 2-1.
That's what I'm talking about. That ball was scalded by Addison Russell, his 21st home run of the year. A no doubter. There's your Thor home run replay. High and deep into the night sky. Almost leaves the ballpark.
So 21 homers, 93 knocked in, 240th allowed by the Cincinnati Reds. They fired their pitching coach earlier this year, Mark Riggins, former Cubs pitching coach. And that is Mac Jenkins, moved from the bullpen to pitching coach. Ted Power now their bullpen coach. Speaking of their bullpen, it's Blake Wood. The pen has allowed a major league record 94 home runs. Through the first 73 games, that was on June 24th, their bullpen had a 6.18 ERA. 57 homers allowed in 73 games. Since then, they've been a lot better. 74 games at 3.76 bullpen ERA. It's a one-swing ball game tonight, in which the wind is blowing out. At the end of the bat, thought that ball might die because he didn't really barrel it up, but Iribarren left his feet and made the catch for the first out.
Iribarren actually breaks to the right and has to retreat and come back the other way to make the play. Looked like he was trying to shake a defender out there. Oh, it's a little jab step to the right before the change of course. Last time Wilson Contreras hit a home run. Let's look. August 29th. Okay, not that long ago, but he's due. Hasn't had a ton of at-bats between then and now.
Rondon in the bullpen.
You could understand Brian Price erring on the side of staying with his starter a little longer with the bullpen woes he has experienced this year.
Paid crowd tonight, 39,251. That gets the Cubs over the 3 million mark for the first time since 2011 and the 9th time in franchise history. Nice going, fans. Deep left, as you were asking. Gone on to Waveland. 2-2.
Boy, oh boy, did he get into that one. There you go, Addy. Yeah, you hit yours a good way, but anything you could do, I could do better.
Ford home run replay. Tucker Barnhart knew it.
Yeah, change up. Up being the operative term. And just like that, 2 swings of the bat. And we are tied.
Russell and Contreras will send Adelman out of the ball game. 2-2, 7th inning.
You both have a perfect driving record.
Until one of you clips a food truck.
Then your rates go through the roof. Perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Who's the genius who puts a girl in heels on a subway grate?
Miss Monroe, eat a Snickers.
Why?
You get a little cranky when you're hungry. Better?
Much better.
This scene will never make the cut.
You know, for me, home is where life happens. And with the Magnolia Home furniture and accessories line, I really wanted to offer unique, timeless pieces that spoke to many different styles, that you would have fun mixing and matching. So when you blend all these styles together, it creates this inspiring space for your family to call home. I'm really excited to share with you my line, Magnolia Home furniture and accessories.
Available in stores now at Value City Furniture, or shop the entire collection at vcf.com.
Hello? This is she.
Is that the doctor?
Okay, wow, really? It's two? That's great news, thank you.
It's two?
Yes, it's two. It's 2 for 1 windows at Feldco.
Feldco is offering 2 windows for the price of 1, with no money down and no interest for 1 year.
2 windows for the price of 1 ends soon. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
So Hyundai called to the pen. Right-hander Blake Wood will make his 64th appearance.
6-3 with a .378 earned run average for Wood. Good strikeout numbers. Walk count is a little high. Fastball, sliders, mostly, occasionally a changeup. 4 and 2 seamer, and he'll average 96 miles per hour with that heater.
Ivan De Jesus Jr. will play third as part of the double switch, bringing Wood into the game. Suarez is out. And the batter is Chris Coughlin. Tommy La Stella on deck for Hamill. Cubs can find a way to get another run here in the 7th, and Hamill would qualify for the win. Either way, he will not take a loss tonight. Line shot to right. Fair ball. Coughlin with a double. The offense has awakened here in the 7th.
Yeah, 2 home runs, a line out, and a double in this inning. Coughlin continues his good work of late. Right off the base of the wall, 353 feet away.
Tommy La Stella for Hamill. By the way, nice call on the Contreras home run.
Well, you know, just keep firing darts up there.
.98 off the plate.
I think if you were filling out a scouting report on Blake Wood, you would say, yeah, plus stuff. Below average command. A good movement. So 97 with movement. That'll play.
La Stella pops near short. And it's hauled in by Peraza. 2 down now. Fowler. Nice work by Hamill. 7 innings, 2 runs.
There's 4 hits allowed, a walk, 6 strikeouts.
Meantime, the Cardinals now have a 5-2 lead in the 5th inning. At Colorado. Grichuk was homered for the Cardinals in that one.
How many is that for him? Probably closing in on 30, I think.
His 23rd.
Okay.
Batting in the 8th spot. 8-hitter has 23 home runs for St. Louis. Into center, the base hit. Here comes Coughlin, and the Cubs lead. 3-2 in the 7th.
Big 2-out knock for Fowler. His first hit of the game. Drives in the go-ahead run right down the middle from Wood.
Cubs have their first lead tonight, and Jason Hamill now can get a win. And they're not done yet. Here's Bryant.
Jason adopting that posture that we all do as pitchers in the dugout of, hey, I'm just glad, you know, my team's playing well. I did my part tonight. I don't care about the wins and losses. But inside you're going, yes, yes. Gotta get this W.
And if he gets it, it'll be his 15th. Every time he wins now, a new career high. Center field. Iribarren to end the inning, but the Cubs grab the lead. 2 homers and an RBI single by Dexter Fowler. And it's 3-2 as we move to the 8th.
The Honda Take Home a CRV sales event is here with incredible deals. Loaded with standard features like Pandora compatibility, a multi-angle rear view camera, and plenty of cargo space. It's no wonder the CRV was named Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Buy for 2016. Hurry into the Honda Take Home a CRV sales event and get a great deal today.
Play hard, party hard. That's what I tell my players. When it's time to celebrate, I shop at Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. And like I coach the guys, if you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Hey, Bill, watch a car for me?
Sure.
Have a nice day.
Shop like a pro for great brands at the Bass Pro Shops Gear Up Sale.
Thought I asked you to watch the car.
I didn't take my eyes off it for a second.
Get speed, accuracy, and great results with Boss Stitch air nailers from Menards. Smart Point air nailers feature smaller nose pieces that allow for easier nail placement. This straight finish nailer is $139. An angled finish nailer is $154. Put power wherever you need it with Generac. This portable generator with an electric start is perfect for home use, camping, job sites, or outdoor events. Get it for $849 during Menards Fall Catalog Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Time for our Xfinity high-speed action. Oh, yeah. Giordano's and the Cubs providing our crew dinner tonight. John Walsh, our producer, really putting it home. He said he worked out twice today. Yes, thanks, Joe Rios. Joe ordered the food, and it was fantastic. Nice day to eat outside as well. Here's Hector Rondon. Cubs lead by a run in the 8th inning.
Hector on for the 49th time. 18 saves, 2 wins, 2.51 the ERA. You had DeJesus Jr., who came in the double switch to lead things off, then the top of the order.
Zobrist now in left. Baez playing second.
Hector has pitched 3 times since coming off the disabled list. That right triceps strain. He was activated on September 6th while the club was in Milwaukee. Allowed a couple hits and a run in that ball game, and then 2 scoreless outings, 1 in Houston, 1 in St. Louis. This is his first appearance on the homestand.
Bounced 2. The guy who just came in to play D. Baez makes a play. Caught the corner. 96 miles an hour.
According to the Reds media notes, Jose Peraza, the young fellow batting here, leads all major leaguers aged 22 or younger with a .320 batting average. He's batting .318 now. We'll hear a lot about him, but some of the good young shortstops in the game. I don't know if his future is as an everyday shortstop, maybe more of a second baseman, perhaps utility type guy. We'll see.
He's played a little outfield. Yeah. Got him from the Dodgers.
The Reds rookie record in terms of batting average, minimum 200 plate appearances. A fellow by the name of Cuckoo Christensen back in 1926 batted .350. Of more recent vintage, Hal Morris batted .340 his rookie year, 1990.
Soft served and down. So Peraza's on with 1 out.
Tried to steal earlier in the ball game, was gunned down by Contreras. Unless he's very fearful of a ground ball double play, I'm guessing Brian Price doesn't want Peraza trying to run here with Joey Votto on deck.
Yeah, you definitely want Votto to bat in this inning. At some point tonight, probably going to see a former Red, Aroldis Chapman.
Right, so that's why it becomes important from the Reds' point of view to get Votto in at bat here against Rondon, the righty. Plan your spring travel to Sloan Park in Mesa, Arizona with Cubs destinations. Spring training packages include game tickets, hotel accommodations, rental car, Cubs swag, and a private meet and greet with Cub players. Details available soon at cubs.com/travel.
Two strikes on Iribarren. Kick and a pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. Now the big battle with Votto. Mentioned his struggles early. And he worked his way out of those struggles partly by spending some time, he claims, on baseballreference.com, greatest website ever created. searching for similar players to him who worked their way back from bad starts. Found Willie Mays, Stan Musial, Derek Jeter. They all had great seasons following really slow starts. A little reminder of how long a baseball season is, and some inspiration that he could recover, and boy has he.
Well, he need not look any further than himself last year, the way he turned it around.
Wasn't quite as bad early as he was this year,
No,
but yeah, his on-base percentage last year after the break was .535.
He is 6 out of 10 in his career with a home run against Hector Rondon. If this were a postseason game, Chapman would be in the game right now.
1-2. No danger in Peraza being overly aggressive. And again, they don't want to take the bat out of Votto's hands.
Yeah, the caveat being now, you know, it's a pitcher's count, so he's less likely to do damage in this count. And at some point, you know, Brian Price is thinking may turn to, well, if I get thrown out, I still have Votto leading off the 9.
Poke into left for a base hit. Did you see what Votto did? It looked like he was saying to the fans, boo. And he stepped out and they started booing.
Motivate me. You boo Ryan Braun all the time. Why not me? Well, that's vintage Votto right there.
Isn't it,
and
though?
He's battling that at bat, talking to himself throughout, and then gets that 2-strike breaking ball and pings it the other way.
If you're a Cubs fan, you don't have to like him or that little exchange, but it's hard not to respect Joey Votto and how he goes about his business. So it's Duvall with runners at first and second.
Duvall's had a couple good swings tonight. He struck out his first time up, chased a fastball about nose high, but then a line out to short and really ripped the ball to left his last time up for a line out.
Slider is low for ball 1. The Cubs bullpen is quiet. This is Rondon's inning. Popped him up. This should get Hector out of it. Foul territory. Bryant's underneath. Inning over. Bottom 8. Cubs 3, Reds 2.
This may look like just a car driving down the road, but the Camry is so much more. It's the product of over $1 million an hour of research and development to enhance its cutting-edge features. We worry about every single detail, so by the time it gets to you, there's nothing left to worry about. Tested, trusted Toyota. Lease a new 2017 Camry with zero due at signing, or get 0% APR for 72 months plus $500 bonus cash. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
How did DirecTV build the first-of-its-kind channel dedicated to fantasy football live on Sunday? They put together a team of in-studio experts with insightful in-game analysis of Sunday's biggest plays as they happen. Plus the latest NFL.com stats, injury news, and storylines that affect your lineups. Stay connected to the source on your favorite device while your team is on the big screen. All in a Sunday's work. Only NFL Sunday Ticket Max gives you the DirecTV Fantasy Zone. Upgrade your Sundays this fall. Channel 704.
If you're in the market for a new car, there's a new choice in town. Introducing Elgin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 4 of the most popular and dependable automotive brands from one of the most trusted automotive names in Chicagoland, the Bob Lacurcio Auto Group, which means the new choice in town is now part of the best choice in town. Don't miss our celebration event going on now at the grand opening of the all-new Elgin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elgin, or visit elgincdjr.com.
You're going to like buying a car this way.
Hey everyone, Luke Stuckmeyer in our Comcast Sportsnet studios with this Sportsnet Central update presented by Bob's Discount Furniture, home of untouchable values. After our post-game coverage, stick around for Sportsnet Central. We'll have more clubhouse reaction from Wrigley Field. Plus, Jose Abreu questions his team's desire to win. But right now, more Cubs baseball from the north side. Back to Len and JD.
All right, Luke, thank you. Anthony Rizzo leading off for the Cubs in the 8th, leading 3-2. Oldest Chapman is slowly getting ready for the 9th in the bullpen. Topped off the plate. It kicks foul. Mets lost tonight to the Braves 7-3.
Nationals also losers tonight.
Just wide of third. Mets now 80-70 on the year. You said the Nats?
Nats got beat by the Fish 4-3.
So that cuts the Cubs' magic number down to 6. Best record in the NL. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Tomorrow night, we're celebrating Cubs social media night. Make sure to use the hashtag Cubs Social during tomorrow night's broadcast for a chance to see your tweets or Instagram photos mentioned on air by us. We look forward to that for Game 2. .97 and a strike to Zobrist.
John Lester pitches for the Cubs tomorrow. Josh Smith for the Reds.
Smith will be the 15th starting pitcher used by the Reds this year.
Say that fast 3 times. Josh Smith. It's not easy, is it? Just contemplating it is hard.
1-2. Yeah, those names where the last consonant of the first name kind of blending into the first sound of the last name. I don't think I knew this guy, but it was a name I had to say on the radio maybe once. Rich Schmidt. I always had trouble. Rich, you have to stop. Rich Schmidt, not Rich Schmidt.
Speaking of hard to pronounce, we haven't seen much of Rob Zastryzny lately on the Cubs pen.
Hard foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Zobrist. Come on, JD. Can you grow a little in the back to do that?
That would be fun. guessing he wasn't an accounting major. He's got art history written all over him.
I don't know. That's the kind
Maybe
of guy
English
you want
major.
doing your taxes. Fly ball to center. Barron makes a catch. It's almost kind of the look Bob Brenly once coined it, the headphone mohawk. Goes from ear to ear. Hey, that's Dee Snider.
Wow, there you go.
Twisted Sister, we're not going to take it. So I'm guessing these are all band members of a Twisted Sister.
I feel confident in agreeing with you on that one.
There's a documentary about Twisted Sister on Netflix. It's on my wish list. I may be motivated to go watch it after the game tonight. Hefty home runs. Russell to get the Cubs on the board. Number 21, and then Contreras tied it.
It's fun to see those in tandem. The first one, you see the reaction from Adelman, the pitcher. The second one, Barnhart, the catcher, both knowing as soon as the ball was hit that it was leaving the yard.
In the left. Should be 2 for Russell. He's on his way to second, and he'll slide in safely.
Took the Cubs a while to get rolling here tonight, but last couple of innings, some very good swings. 2-hit night for Russell. Home run, now double. Not a bad pitch. Down and got that low slider.
I'm told our friend with the really cool hair, his name is Damon Ranger, a local music promoter. Dee Snider, I believe, here for Riot Fest in town this past weekend. I know you always make sure you get down to Riot Fest.
It's one of my favorite fests.
Trying to get a tattoo every year. Still haven't actually seen one of your tattoos, which means
temporary.
No,
out of the Cracker Jack box.
I wasn't going to say temporary. I was going to say you put them in areas that I don't want to think about. Three and 0. If you had to get a tattoo, what would it be of? And where would it be?
Oh, man. If I had to get one, it would be,
I think it would be of Kramer or maybe a Newman silhouette.
I like the way
above
you're
your left shoulder. Is Abel de los Santos. Hayward deep the other way. It's gone. That's a 2-run homer, and it's a 3-run lead. He tattooed it.
Yes, sir. Third home run in the last 2 innings for the Cubs. Through 5 innings, they had 2 hits, had not had a man reach scoring position. Last 3 innings, they have unloaded on this Reds pitching staff. That's the record breaker, isn't it? Most home runs ever allowed in a season, Cincinnati Reds.
242nd allowed.
Yeah, Jason Hayward with his 7th.
Cubs are not going to take it anymore. 5 runs here late.
Oof. Evil intent with that swing.
Joe writes in, you need a screaming yellow parakeet.
Screaming yellow parakeet
logo tattooed somewhere.
Sid Finch.
Schebler makes the grab, and we will go to the 9th. Fireballing Aroldis. Chapman coming on.
You're taking an enormous risk speaking with us, so thank you.
Of course.
What was the key to toppling this notorious crime ring?
By keeping my identity a secret, I was able to witness the atrocities firsthand. I've been undercover for 5 years. Anonymity is critical to my survival.
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest fares as low as $59 one way. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
In Chicago, some things just go together, like front porches and blue W's, bricks and ivy, Waveland Avenue and souvenirs, Jake and State Farm. Like home and auto insurance with State Farm, they just go together, and they save you time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Listen up. This is the time, this is the place. And this is Ford F-150, the truck that goes toe-to-toe with your life. Made of high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy that pulled the highest safety rating the government can give. And with Pro Trailer backup assist, it's like having your head on a swivel, pal. So load up your crew. This is the time.
Now during Truck Month, get 0% financing for 72 months on a built Ford Tough F-150 or Super Duty. See your local Ford dealer today.
The most popular way to follow the Cubs postseason push is with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Get MLB.com at bat on your favorite devices now.
Cubs upcoming schedule brought to you by PNC Bank. Night games throughout this series. Final 2 home matinees will be Friday and Saturday, and then the Sunday night game before the Cubs hit the road.
Well, here comes Aroldis Chapman for his first ever appearance against his former club. For the year, he is 4-1, has 34 saves and 37 tries and a 1.70 ERA. His 24th appearance with the Cubs. He was a Red from 2010 through 2015.
So obviously pretty tight with Brandon Phillips. They played together a long time. Phillips, though, played behind Chapman. Now he has to face him. And outside 101 miles an hour. Only guy on the Reds roster who had faced Chapman prior to tonight, Adam Duvall, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So if Phillips never took live BP against Chapman and always wondered what it would be like to hit against him, now he knows.
Yeah, maybe at some point they had a conversation in the clubhouse and Phillips said, I could turn on your fastball. I could get you. And here's his chance.
One and 2 on 102. time on 104. The fans oohing and eyeing as they show the pitch speed readout on the board. Guessing Aroldis won't do it. Man, if he flipped one up there at about 78 miles an hour.
He threw at least one changeup in his outing the other day against the Brewers.
Well, yeah, 91.
89, yeah. Yeah, like an ephus kind of pitch. That would be a lot of fun.
Something to get on the scouting report, right? And Contreras wants some high heat. Well, now with a 3-run lead, I almost wonder if Chapman's basically saying to Phillips, I'm just going to keep firing fastballs to see if he can hit it. No trickery involved. Let's go. You against me. Nope. Calling for the slider. So much for that theory. Chapman will pick it up. One away. Phillips probably find him around the batting cage tomorrow and go, come on, man.
Well, that's
throw me
it.
a slider?
Yeah, he'll say, hey, you had to throw a slider to get me. Sooner or later, I would have gotten your heater.
And Aroldis can respond with, I'm a pitcher, not a thrower.
And yeah, and you did make a right turn, by the way. Always fun for these left-handed hitters to stand in there against Chapman.
Makes you think of Randy Johnson against Larry Walker or John Kruk. I think it was Crucky, right, in the All-Star game?
Yeah, there might have been some hijinks with both those guys. Turn the helmet around backwards and look right in. Look out.
That ball went through the mitt. I mean, it's still stuck in the mitt. Schebler saying it hit him?
Yes, Schebler's claiming that that ball hit him. Mike Estabrook claiming otherwise. I don't think Estabrook can get any help here. I doubt that any of the base umpires saw anything differently. If he got him, it just grazed him on the way by. Normally an umpire is going to react to what he hears there. I'm going to put the headset on. I don't know if they're going to be able to see anything here.
If you're Brian Price, it's worth the shot.
Little ruffle of material there on the way by. I couldn't tell for sure.
Was that wind?
And if you're Schebler after that heater up and in like that, you're like, let's just go to first base, all right?
Forsythe Technology replay review.
You're not going to try to play macho here and go, no, I want to hang in there and swing.
He's like, I want this plate appearance to end one way or the other.
Yeah.
So please send me to first. Assuming this is not going to be a hit by pitch. This is where you throw that 68-mile-an-hour breaking ball here, and Schebler falls down. Throw it at his shoulder, and it breaks over the plate. But in all seriousness, I don't think Aroldis has slow in his repertoire. Right? I mean, like the slowest pitch he throws is 89. Which is Kyle Hendricks' fastball at its best.
Yeah, that bat will continue. No hit by pitch.
We always say 2-0 is to the hitter's favor. Doesn't feel like it though here, does it? Look at the location of those first two pitches. Schebler's not really sure where this next one's going.
Yeah, he's probably in take mode. Yeah.
Four-pitch walk now. A pinch hitter, Tony Renda.
No relation to Joe Randa.
I was going to say Joe Randa was a Red at some point, right? I think when Brian Price told him he was going to pinch hit, he said, "Help me, Renda."
I imagine he did.
The only team in the National League without a pinch hit home run. Guy wants to celebrate a win and head home on a school night. When it takes off, Contreras will not make a throw. No steal for Schebler.
I'd give him a steal.
Me too.
In a 3-run ball game.
Two and two.
And his old school up there with no batting gloves.
Swing on this. Strike 3. 2 down. Barnhart will bat right-handed.
This is his weaker side, a 270 hitter left-handed, 215 from the right side.
Will be pitch number 20 for Chapman. 1-2.
Chapman, his stuff is so good. He's so dominating when he gives up a hit. It really gets your attention. Whoop. He's running 104 miles per hour, and he's long, gets great extension, so the perceived velocity is even a little bit quicker.
Jesus on deck, representing the tying run. Three-two, swing and a miss. Cubs win. Cubs win as they come back late, 5 runs in the 7th and the 8th. And they beat the Reds 5-2.
Yeah, for much of the night, Cubs bats really quiet against the youngster Adelman, but a nice rally late in the ball game, hitting for some power, 3 long balls. Jason Hamill, another really good start here in his home ballpark. So 7-0 for Hamill now here at Wrigley since the All-Star break, and 10-1 overall for the year. 15-9 on the season now for Jason.
Benny's Toast of the Game brought to you by Benny's Beverage Depot, the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Jason Hamill got the win tonight. He was down for pretty much his entire outing.
He was able to hang in there, go 7 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 6. Cubs continue their dominance over the Reds.
Let's send it down to Kelly Kroll.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. A big 7th inning. Dexter, you watch Russell Contreras go deep, but walk us through your at-bat with Coughlin on second and 2 outs there.
We're just trying to hit something hard. You know, sometimes in those situations you try to get too big, and just try to stay in the middle of the field.
Well, the magic number for this team is now down to 5 in terms of clinching home field advantage. Are guys talking about that? How important is that as a next goal to cross off?
I don't think guys are talking about it. I know we just want to win games, and we're marking them off, and the quicker we get to 100, the quicker the better we'll be.
All right, well, you mentioned Jay Hay, a big game from him, but I know Matt had mentioned having talked to all the hitters this afternoon. What is the focus for the team and you individually over the next couple weeks?
Just work on things. Try to go out and grind out ABs, and that's what we've been doing. It's about a process, and we're working on that process.
And the next thing is 100, though, as quick as you can, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's our next goal. I don't care how it happens. We just need to get there.
All right, Dexter, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Guys, there you have it, 100 wins. They're not too far off at this point.
No, you're right. 95 and 55, Kelly. So the Cubs need to go 5 and 7. I think I got that right. Yeah, 5 and 7 over their final 12.
Would that be the first time since 1935?
Yep.
To get to 100 wins?
It's been a while. Nice work tonight, JD. And join us tomorrow, 6:30 for our coverage here on CSN for Game 2. More to come. Blue Cross Blue Shield post-game live right around the corner. Final score once again. Cubs 5, Reds 2.
Luke Stuckmeyer alongside Todd Hollandsworth. We're getting ready for the post-game show, but what a comeback by the Cubs. Kind of slow game all night long, and then all of a sudden, 7th inning, they take off.
Yeah, get the bats going. I think that was important tonight to really get it going. You go back to the Brewers series, didn't get a whole lot of offense, struggled with runners in scoring position. Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm looking at here in the last couple weeks. You want to get something going collectively, offensively. Not just the long balls, we love them, 3 of them in this ball game, but good to see good at-bats there at the end of the game, good at-bats that connected. Dexter Fowler did it, Addison Russell got it going, Jason Hayward, the home run the other way. All good at-bats, all led to runs, and a nice win.
5-2 Cubs win. They beat the Reds again. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's do this. Come on.
Post-game show.
Boom.
Oh, that's the best one we've had all season. Cubs Post-Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield, is coming up next. You're going to hear from Joe Madden, Jason Hamill, and a whole lot more. Stick around.
Good or better? The Hyundai Sonata versus the Toyota Camry. The Sonata has an available panoramic sunroof. The Camry? No. In the Sonata, available Android Auto. The Camry? No again. And only the Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty. Better is the reason to buy Hyundai.
And this is the reason to buy now. Lease the Sonata for a limited time for only $149 a month. Visit buyhyundai.com.
Our mountains challenge us. Push us back. Knock us down. Tell us it can't be done. But then, one day you reach the summit, and you realize the harder the climb, the better the reward. Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on.
My Allen USB port, the USB port that looks suspiciously like a sofa. It's probably the best looking USB port ever and only $7.99. Plug in your devices and binge watch in extreme comfort with my Bob-O-Pedic seating. Plus dual power recliners and dual power headrests. Get the USB port that looks suspiciously like a sofa, or the one that looks like a console love seat in dark chocolate or light brown. Each only $7.99. Untouchable and only at my Bob's Discount Furniture.
The search for better is one of our greatest traits as humans. It's a new commitment.
You're in.
A bold move. Even a fresh start. This appetite for better is everywhere. In people, communities, and also at Subway. Every day, we're finding new ways to serve fresh, locally sourced produce and food free of artificial preservatives whenever and wherever possible. Because the best way to stay fresh is to never get stale.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Audi, truth in engineering. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Toyota, discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Cubs win.
Win number 95 on the season for your Chicago Cubs. It's a comeback win over the Reds tonight at Wrigley Field. 5-2 the final. Cubs get the scoring started in the 7th inning. Hello and welcome to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Alongside Todd Hollandsworth, I'm Luke Stuckmeyer. Really, it was the comeback, and, you know, they were patient. We thought it might be the second time through the lineup that the Cubs got the offense going, but it was a little bit later than that.
Yeah, it was the third time through the lineup, and I had to admit I was getting a little impatient. I think we are getting a little impatient, wanting to see the Cubs play good baseball down the stretch. It really comes down to that. It's important. These games matter. You got to play them. They're on the schedule. Yeah, is it about 100 wins? Is it about clinching home field advantage throughout the playoffs? These are all important things. But again, the quality of the at-bat is what I'm watching. You know, being able to connect your lineup together, the lineup that you've got out that day, and I know there's going to be guys that are going to be in and out of there, but you want to maintain some sort of rhythm individually moving towards the end of the season. Remember, the Cubs are going to finish this season, and they're going to have a layoff, so it's important that everybody finishes this thing out strong and hard and really has their A swing going as they get to the end of the season, because they're going to have to deal with a few days off anyway when they get to the end.
Well, let's take a look at the comeback. Adam had kind of had their number early on. You said maybe it was a little bit of a hitch in his delivery that had them off for a little while, but they figured it out, and it was Addison Russell that gets it going in the 7th inning. Hits the home run and puts the Cubs on the board here.
Yeah, elevated fastball right there, 90 miles an hour. Got into a hitter's count and got a pitch to hit. You saw the leg kick go up and the timing come down, so he looked real aggressive right there. Looking to throw one of those game-changing swings out there. Addison Russell gets it done. That is a big fly. Good to see. Again, kind of looking at this lineup, up until that point, only Anthony Rizzo had really put together quality at-bats consistently in this ballgame, so good to see Addison Russell get it going as well.
And then Wilson Contreras comes up, and he hits one out, too. By the way, there was 21 on the season for Russell. Contreras takes one, and that's another pretty good swing.
Well, and this is a really good at-bat right here. He gets down 0-2 in the count, works his way back. He lays off a couple tough pitches and gets a hanging changeup out over the plate, stays back on it just enough, and boy, oh boy, unloads. Good to see. The ball was jumping at Wrigley tonight. This lineup is capable of hitting some home runs. Remember, in the first half, they were really good at doing that. First in runs scored, third in home runs. You look at them in the second half, and this is kind of the story and what I'm talking about. They've been a little bit more pedestrian. Average, eighth in homers, eighth in runs scored. So we want to see that offense get going. Some real good swings at the bat there in the 7th.
That one tied it up his 10th of the season after a Coughlin double. Dexter Fowler drives him in here.
Yeah, nice at bat right here. Kept his hands inside the baseball. You heard him talk about it in the post game. Didn't try to get too big, try to do too much right there. Stay through the middle of the field. Those 2-out RBIs, I talk about them all the time. This is what this is championship baseball right here. The only way to get a guy in really at the major league level is by driving him in with a base hit right there, and that's a great swing on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball using the middle of the field.
And then in the 8th inning, the Cubs still have the lead, but here's a guy you really want to watch the last 2 weeks of the season. Can Jason Hayward get hot? Because if he does, you forget the whole part of the regular season where he struggled, if he can be hot in the postseason.
Well, and I think that there's some debate out there as to, how, the lineup configuration might look in the postseason if he doesn't start to swing the bat consistently. I mean, you're going to face some lefties and some tough lefties. Does Jason Hayward belong out there every day? So if he starts to do this and really starts maybe to use that off field, again, turning around velocity as he did right there, staying inside of it, letting it get a little deep, because, again, that's some serious cheese right there. But a great swing of the bat and good elevation on it. Drove it out to left center field. Those are great swings. Even the at-bat before that, he lined out to center field. So 2 quality at-bats. And kind of when you look at our lineup tonight, that's really what happened. It was that third time through where you start to see the guys get the at-bats connected. They started to make sense. They were feeding off things. And again, 2 good at-bats for Hayward there at the end.
He's so good defensively, and just never know who's going to step up in the postseason. It could be anybody.
Right.
Let's take a look at our Elk Grove pitching matchup for tonight. And we had Jason Hamill on the mound, and Hamill was pretty good.
I thought Jason Hamill was outstanding tonight. Again, made a lot of great pitches, 101 pitches through 7 innings. Again, the second run he gave up, other than the Brandon Phillips homer, which was a center cut fastball there early in the ball game, and that's kind of how this game stayed for a long time. That second run, Jason Hayward would tell you he took a bad route to the ball, turned a single into a triple, and then Joey Votto with the infield in had the little weak flare that fell in short center field. That's his other run. Expanded the strike zone, used his fastball really, really well tonight.
Time for Joe Maddon's press conference, brought to you by Xfinity.
Games at Franklin Field. Back in the early 60s, I saw Milt Plum play for the Detroit Lions. I saw Bob Hayes catch a ball down the sideline and go all the way for the Dallas Cowboys. I never got to see the Cardinals play there. Who else? I saw like 3 or 4 games. My buddy Rich used to take me down there to watch some games, because even our midget football team was the State Trooper Eagles with the wings on our helmet and stuff when I was 10. So everybody loves the Eagles back there, but I was kind of the anti-Eagle, except for the State Trooper Eagles. Yeah.
Did something change with Tim? You guys were struggling against their pitcher, and then in the 7th, was there anything that you noticed that changed, or did you guys just kind of get him down at that point?
Well, Addison hits the homer, and all of a sudden that will put a different thought in a pitcher's head. I mean, he's been going so well, and then all of a sudden the ball goes far, and then you think differently. And he had 2 strikes on Wilson when Wilson hit that home run. That was a changeup, I think, a 2-2, was it? 2-2 changeup. So, yeah, I just think we were able to get to him only because one guy turned the impetus around by just hitting that home run. All of a sudden, Contreras, they get the other guy in the game. And Dexter had a really big hit, obviously. Coughlin, another good at-bat. He's been really good. But Dexter 2-out knock right there is kind of spectacular. And then beyond that, the jug runs with Jason, that ball was really properly struck to the oppo gap, which was beautiful to see. That's what he does. So give their guy credit. I've never seen him. I think he went to Georgetown. Is this guy from Georgetown University in Washington? I saw Georgetown. I thought I did. That's. I wonder how many guys from Georgetown have pitched in the big leagues. I know they've been on chief justices of the Supreme Court, but I don't think they've ever been that good of a right-handed pitcher. Really interesting, good kid. I mean, threw strikes, he knew what he's doing, but I think the home run turned it around.
And before you rally, Hamlin did a really creditable job.
He kept getting better. You know, I thought, you know, typically with him, if he gets in a groove, if you get him by a certain point, he's all of a sudden, if you remember that last inning, the fastball was located probably the best that it was the entire game. He had a good breaking ball, he had a good slider, he had a good curveball. He had all that going on. We just couldn't get him any runs. But yeah, he was started the 7th with 87 pitches, I think, and ended up in the mid-90s, or almost 100, a little over 100, right? Because of the one guy got on. So I just thought he kept getting better, and I liked it. Matchup-wise, coming out of the bullpen, it wasn't a real. I didn't know what they were going to do, pinch hitting-wise. So I just thought he was getting better, so I wanted to stick with him. And that was his 15th. That's pretty solid.
I know you said before the game that, you know, it's not an audition or anything like that, but for him to be able to kind of turn it around from what he had done the last 5, you know, starts out there or so, how important was that for his confidence?
Oh, it's all about, the whole world revolves around confidence. Absolutely. He's definitely feels better about himself. He made some good pitches when he had to. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. He's definitely got to walk out of here tonight feeling a lot better about himself. But one thing about the Hammer, when even if he has a bad day, he doesn't suffer a whole lot. He was able to file it and move on. He's shown me that. I've known him for a while. Got to give him credit. He's a really good athlete. I mean, this guy could hit a golf ball. He could throw a football. He could hit a baseball. He almost, you know, the hanging curveball. He almost took that one out today. He's a really good athlete. So that's part of it. He's not an extrovert. He doesn't talk loudly, but he has a lot of self-confidence.
You mentioned that it's his 15th wins. That's 15-game winners on the staff now. A couple of weeks to go.
Sounds like the Baltimore Orioles with Wally Bunker and all those dudes.
The Cubs since 1935.
Really?
There's a lot that goes into pitcher wins, but I mean, what does that say about the staff?
Obviously, they're good. Number one. Number two, I think a big part of it is beyond that, I think their preparation is outstanding. I think our defense really lends to that too. I think when you look at any good pitching staff, if you have that many, you got to probably look at all the other things that are going on. Like I said, I think our scouting group in here and what the guys do before the game to prep them, and our catchers are really heavily involved. They're really invested in the pitcher. So I think it's that they're good. Beyond being good, they're prepared, and beyond that, I mean, when you're able to turn balls in play into outs as often as we can, we do really well at the routine, but we're very good at the spectacular too. So I think they all blend together.
Jim, before the game, you talked about kind of you have these next few weeks to kind of work on things almost. Getting results from guys that may not have been, you know, at their peak of late, guys like Zobers who looked good today. Yep. Contreras, I mean, that Hayward, I mean, all those things are a big deal in 5 weeks, right?
Absolutely, and that's why I wanted to talk to them today, just to really have our, you know, kind of like more of a micro focus now for 2 weeks. Don't worry about what's gone on. I know some of you have some numbers you're chasing. I get that, but right now it's only about winning. That's it. I mean, we're just trying to get this whole thing functioning properly so that when we get to the postseason, we're able to do the things that we want to do. At least we're prepared to do the things we want to do, and so again, self-awareness. I want them to be self-aware in moments. So these 2 weeks really utilize this time. I'm not accusing them of not being that way before. I'm just saying for right now, really understand what that means situationally in the moment. If you've had a bad swing, if you chase a slider, step out of the box so you don't chase the next slider, things like that. If you make a bad play on defense, throw it in the trash can. Come on, let's keep moving it forward. I didn't talk to the pitchers. I just talked to the position players, primarily about, like I said, stuff that we can work on now that's going to benefit us later, because we do. It's just an unusual situation to be in. But you saw it tonight. Our guys had a hard time early. We came to play. We wanted to win that game, and we did.
You talk about working on stuff in the next couple weeks. What does that mean for both guys? Guys don't want to necessarily be out there every day. What do they work on?
Well, one of it would be pinch hitting. I mean, like Tommy came off the bench today. I wanted to make sure he would get an at-bat. If Coughlin's not playing, make sure that he would. Miggy was going to be next. today. So if you're not starting, Baez coming off the bench, you got to play defense late. You got to be ready to do that. The other guys, I'm still going to try to get them out there. These guys aren't going to just wire to wire at the guys that started today. I'll look for opportunities to get Albert in there, and Cesar Soler's coming back. He's got to have some at-bats too, as an example. Bullpen-wise, I mean, I got to get Rob Z out there, Montgomery out of the bullpen. Travis hasn't pitched. I was worried about pitching Travis way too much, and I got to start getting him out there a little bit more often. Grimm's got to come back. Strope's got to get involvement. Again, just think spring training. I mean, and that's the unusual position we're in. So I think at some point we're going to have to script the starting pitchers and just give them, like, listen in advance, man, you're not going more than 6 tonight or whatever, just to make sure relievers get what they need to get done too, possibly. I don't know that yet, but these are the kind of thoughts I have. I've never done this before, but these are the thoughts to include everybody, keep everybody sharp, win games, don't lose that mental edge, because we're also going to have 4 days off before the actual playoff games begin. So there's all this kind of awkward time that you're not used to fill up and try to fill it up properly. Got it.
Good way of putting it, awkward time. The Cubs do have a lot of time before the playoffs start, and he wants everybody together. Their magic number now 5 for clinching home field advantage throughout the National League.
It's a lot of great detail. You heard Joe Madden talk about it. I mean, there's a lot to dissect in that. You know, talking about preparation, mental edge, good at bats, good defense, the bullpen, how that all works. You know, one team that we reference, or at least that I reference and have over time, think back to the Colorado Rockies team that went to the World Series. They had a long layoff. They were the best team in all of baseball in September. They stormed through the National League. They had a long layoff as they waited for the American League to get itself wrapped up, ended up going into Boston and fell flat. I mean, that's the example that you're trying to avoid. So you've got to find ways to keep your mental edge, to kind of stay out there and challenge yourself on a daily basis to put together your best at-bats and make sure that you're on point. I mean, again, Joe mentioned it. I mean, you got 12 games left, and then you've got a few more days off after that. So you got to get as much out of these 12 days as you possibly can. I don't think, in my mind, it's all about rest. I know that it's about getting as many people involved and ready for what you believe your playoff roster is going to be.
Yeah, with that extra week, there's going to be plenty of fresh guys by the time the playoffs start. Time for our first break here on Cubs Post Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We'll be right back.
Cubs Post Game Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
If you feel like singing a song and you want other people to sing along, just sing what you feel. Don't let anyone say it's wrong. When there's a light, what light? There's a light, what light? There's a light, why light?
Today, we're talking about automotive awards. What if I told you there was a car company that received all of these awards?
One company, one award in all these? Chevy.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the last 2 years.
I love it.
I'm just going to stay in here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Qualified lessees can get this Chevy Cruze for around $169 a month. Plus, find your tag to get an additional $500 lease cash on select Cruze vehicles in stock. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Now that Big Papi's retiring, he's being smarter with his money.
I need to be smart with my money.
So he's become a super savvy shopper. That's why the Xfinity Best Offer of the Year is a home run. Lock in your rate for 2 years, plus get the X1 voice remote.
There is no crying in baseball.
It's the Big Papi of deals.
I'm not crying. My eyes are just sweating.
Score our Best Offer of the Year on the X1 Triple Play from Comcast for only $89.99 a month and lock in your rate for 2 years. Go online, call, or visit today.
Why jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Why not? Chicagoland Skydiving Center was voted the best in the U.S. with a perfect safety record, a one-of-a-kind environment, and round-trip shuttle service from downtown Chicago. Come experience the greatest adventure in the area. Chicagoland Skydiving Center in Rochelle. Visit us at perfectlygoodairplane.com.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
We need to be put in check.
How long are you gonna play both sides?
Do you really want to punch your way out of this?
You chose the wrong side. Keep telling yourself that.
Marvel's Captain America: Civil War. Rated PG-13.
Movies start at Channel 125.
Up top, we got Lester and Dexter and maybe Jake. Shot-Town 2016, yeah, I'm sorry for the wait. This year is the year. When it happens, it's gonna
Meet John Williamson, relief pitcher for the South Bend Cubs and aspiring rapper. Find out what game is more important to him. Tomorrow on Sportsnet Central after Cubs postgame live.
I gave up my rap career. Time now for our Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing. Who's hot, who's not? Who's hot? Well, Andrew McCutchen, 333-11 for his last 33. 3 homers, 10 ribbies, 7 runs. Who's not? Steven Piscotty has been struggling, 8 strikeouts. All right, let's take a look at our UPS store, taking care of business. Player of the game, Addison Russell, gets the Cubs going with his bat in the 7th inning.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in his eyes. I even saw it in his approach. He looked hungry right there. And maybe that's, you know, we describe Addison Russell, who obviously 2 for 4, had a double as well in the ball game. You know, listen, I'm pulling for him to get to 100 RBIs. Those are some of the goals that kind of you dangle in front of yourself and you say, okay, that's what's going to motivate me from now to the end of the season. But there was a different at bat right there in the 3rd. That leg kick, it just looked like Addison Russell was kind of fed up with how things were going, and he kind of got into it. And I'll tell you, you know, Joe referenced it, and that it really is the point. It's that at bat that kind of got the offense rolling, but the at bats from everybody else seemed to pick up from that moment in the ball game on, which is what you want to see and you want to see moving forward. This can't be start and stop. Listen, it can't be, hey, listen, we played great yesterday and we're going to take tomorrow off. They need to keep this thing moving in the right direction and playing well.
Time for the Honda winning box score. By the way, Russell needs just 7 more RBI to reach that 100, and he has 12 games left to do it, assuming he plays in all 12. You look at this box score, you see the home runs. 16 straight games now they've homered against the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds pitching staff has allowed 242 dingers this year. That's the most ever in one season by any staff in Major League history.
I hope you're not asking me to break that down.
They love the long
well,
ball.
I'll tell you what, that's some serious whiplash. That is a lot of home runs given up. They've had issues in their bullpen. Things have settled down. Honestly, the Cincinnati Reds played a little bit better here in the second half, and they're a good opponent right now to be playing. They've got a good offense. They've kind of been rolling. Joey Votto has been on an incredible clip. He's been hitting over 400 in the second half. So again, you're trying to take as much out of these games as you possibly can. You've got games against St. Louis, games against Pittsburgh as well left. We saw that in the hot and not. So again, you know, there are games that they're going to play against some teams that still have some life in that wild card conversation.
Win number 95 on the season for the Cubs. We'll be right back on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. But as we head to break, a reminder, grab your best dress or green tie and tux and celebrate the 25th anniversary of the Chicago Gateway Greens Green Tie Ball, presented by PNC Bank. This amazing night of fundraising includes culinary delights from Chicago restaurants, premium drinks, live music, charitable gaming by Rivers Casino. It's all on October 1st at the Architectural Artifacts. For tickets and more information, visit our website.
Some oxygen?
And oxygen.
Great time for a shiny floor wax, no? Not if you just put the finishing touches on your latest masterpiece. Timing's important. Comcast Business knows that. That's why you can schedule an installation at a time that works for you, even late at night or on the weekend if that's what you need, because you have enough to worry about. I did not see that coming.
Don't deal with disruptions. Get better internet installed on your schedule. Comcast Business, built for business.
Our mountains challenge us, push us back, knock us down, tell us it can't be done. But then, one day you reach the summit, and you realize the harder the climb, the better the reward. Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on.
There are things in life that just go together. It's like they're always side by side. Because when we put them together, they're better. Like home and auto insurance from State Farm. They just go together.
And they save you time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Honda knows, in today's hectic world, it's good to leave everything behind. But when it comes to your car, you want to get everything you can. It's why we put a multi-angle rear-view camera, text message reader, and dual-zone climate control standard in every 2016 Accord. Nothing compares to a Honda. The Accord, the best-selling car in America.
Now that Big Papi's retiring, he's being smarter with his money.
I need to be smart with my money.
So he's become a super savvy shopper. That's why the Xfinity Best Offer of the Year is a home run. Lock in your rate for 2 years, plus get the X1 voice remote.
There is no crying in baseball.
It's the Big Papi of deals.
I'm not crying. My eyes are just sweating.
Score our Best Offer of the Year on the X1 Triple Play from Comcast for only $89.99 a month and lock in your rate for 2 years. Go online, call, or visit today.
Cubs fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card available only at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC.
Is that your voice?
Nice of Cap's voice to make an appearance on the show. Time for our Blue Cross Blue Shield key to the game. Take it away.
Thanks, Cappy. All right, get them on, get them in. Pretty simple here tonight. This was the idea. The offense really needed to get in gear. Cubs 4 for 31 in that Brewers series. That's the one thing that really stood out in the series. You know, kind of getting the offense going again. We watched the beginning of the ball game. Adam was outstanding. He was making pitches. Cubs offenses and their at-bats were not where they needed to be, but they got it going in the 7th inning, obviously the 8th inning as well. That's what I'm hoping spins into tomorrow. You want to get your offense rolling that way, so it definitely stood out. Obviously, we know what happened in the Brewers series, but getting a little bit better. Only 2 for 4. I mean, again, only had the 4 opportunities with the runners in scoring position, but I love Dexter Fowler's at bat. It was great going through the middle and then the 3 home runs to go along with it. So good positive signs, but we need to keep them moving.
Come back and win it 5-2. Let's hear from Jason Hamill. He just picked up his 15th win of the season.
Pretty much, yeah. I was happy that as the game went on, things got better. Worked real hard on the slider in my pen between the last game and this one, and that's my bread and butter. I have to get that pitch back and not having it over the last, better portion, a couple months. Made do with the other pitches, so had much better shape today, much more command. I was able to throw it for strikes and place it in the dirt where I wanted, back foot or back door, and overall it was a good sign for me, and fastball command got better as the game went on. So I only shook Willie once, so he and I were in the same game. This team continues to prove as long as you hang around for a little while, they're going to put up something. They'll make it exciting. So kudos to those guys for putting some good at-bats together late, and we were able to walk away with a W.
You got an early strikeout and change. Has that been more of a pitcher incorporating late?
Yeah, I've always thrown the pen. It's usually pretty good, but there's a confidence factor in it, and I've had some chances to throw it lately where I felt like it wouldn't hurt me, and they threw it pretty well. So I've started to incorporate that more, and then tonight a big one. Had a real big one in a tough spot. So, it's any way you can add another dimension to what you're throwing up there, it's going to help you out. Puts another thing in the hitter's head, and you help yourself out that way.
You don't concentrate on individual goals on this team, but 15 wins seems to be the new 20 in baseball. It's a good accomplishment for you.
I mean, it's for myself. I'll look at the end of the season and see where the chips are, I guess. But that's right now 15. Joe high-fived me and said 1-5, boom. His or Poom, I think it said with a P, not a B. He 1-5. I try not to pay attention to that because you look at the whole body of work, and at the end of the year, that's when you can start looking at individual accolades, I guess. But I was 5 over my career high, so I mean, obviously very, very happy with that. But I still got a couple more, and we're not done yet. We still got to wrap up home field advantage and continue to play good baseball. There's really no reason to let up, and I think the guys, we might have been a little tired from late festivities and whatever, having a fun time after the clinch, but it's time to get locked mentally back in. After your previous few starts, was it important for you to have a night like this and just kind of, reset everything for the rest of the season for you? Yeah, I mean, we talked about it after the last bad one where I've forgotten about them. You just move on. It's for whatever reason. When I was bad this year, I was horrendous, I guess. I have 30 runs within three starts. It's tale of two, whatever. I can't try to think of that one, but 2 different tales. It's overall individual numbers. Yeah, that would be a lot better minus those runs, but. It's like I said, overall, the whole body of work and continuing to trust the process and the things that I've been working on, everybody's going to have a bad one. And, unfortunately for me, they were really bad. But, we continue to move on. You make your 30, 33 starts, and, I'm going to stay confident. And, obviously tonight was a step in the right direction. I felt good about it.
Earlier today, Joe told us that, he doesn't want you thinking, long-term toward the playoffs, like, these are auditions or anything like that. Did he tell you that? And if he did, I mean, is it tough not to think that way at some point?
The way I look at it is there's really no wrong choice. We've got 25 guys that are going to put up some wins for us, whether it's hitting, pitching, defense. We got a good collective group here, and their decisions are going to be really hard. So we're just going to continue to do what we do, individually do our work and show up and play, and then they'll put the best team out there whenever it is. There's no... For me, I'm not trying out. I'm just doing what I do, and you check your ego at the door. Whoever gets taken, and you cheer on from there.
Good to hear from Jason Hamill. John Lester will be the pitcher tomorrow in his last outing. He was real good. 8 innings, 8 strikeouts, no runs.
Pitching matchup tonight, well, we know for tomorrow, really leads us to what we feel like should be another Cubs win. Again, when you look at it on paper, this is one that tilts our way. John Lester's had an outstanding season, a Cy Young type season. Outstanding performance, as you see right there, in St. Louis. That's the Anthony Rizzo game. Just getting it done once again. All 4 pitches, 5 pitches, 6 pitches, depending on how many times you want to break down that fastball of his. Throws it so many different ways. He has been in such a really good rhythm. It's important to kind of maintain that. I mean, again, that's the challenge for John Lester right now moving forward, is to maintain everything that he's done here in the second half and really all season long and keep that conversation going. So expect to see him mixing his pitches well tomorrow.
Down 2-0, the Cubs battle back, get 5 runs in the 7th and 8th inning, and they are now magic number of 5 for home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the National League. Thanks for watching Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Sportsnet Central is coming up next.
If you feel like singing a song, and you want other people to sing along, just sing what you feel. Don't let anyone say it's wrong. When there's a light, what light? Well, there's a light, what light? Well, there's a light, white light.
Now that Big Papi's retiring, he's being smarter with his money.
I need to be smart with my money.
So he's become a super savvy shopper. Oh. That's why the Xfinity Best Offer of the Year is a home run. Lock in your rate for 2 years, plus get the X1 voice remote.
There is no crying in baseball.
It's the Big Papi of deals.
I'm not crying. My eyes are just sweating.
Score our Best Offer of the Year on the X1 Triple Play from Comcast for only $89.99 a month and lock in your rate for 2 years. Go online, call, or visit today.
Exide batteries are durable and deliver longer battery life. They're dependable even when they go against the harshest weather. Pick up an Exide premium battery for only $79.99 with exchange. Improve your vehicle's performance with Valvoline Premium Conventional Motor Oil. It keeps your engine clean, resists oil thickening, and reduces friction to improve gas mileage. Right now, get a 5-quart jug for just $13.95 and get an exclusive Paul Menard Valvoline die-cast car with your purchase during the fall catalog sale.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Jamie Foxx for Verizon. In the nation's largest independent study by Root Metrics, again, Verizon is the #1 network.
Hi, I'm Jamie Foxx for Sprint. And I'm Jamie Foxx for T-Mobile. And we're just as good.
Really? Only Verizon was ranked #1 nationally in data, reliability, text and call, and speed. Yeah. And you're going to fist pump to that? Get out of my sight.
Unlimited isn't a good deal if it's on a cut rate network. Switch now and get our best deal. 20 gigs and 4 lines for only $160. All on America's best network.
Comparing midsize sedans? Here's what puts the Kia Optima ahead of the Nissan Altima. The Kia Optima has an available surround view monitor and turbo engine. The Nissan Altima does not. The 2016 Kia Optima is a KBB.com Best Buy Award winner. The Nissan Altima came up short there, too. Discover the next generation Optima. It's not your average midsize sedan. Lease the Optima LX for only $179 a month or get 0% financing. Visit your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Kia dealer for details.
Cubs Postgame Live is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit mykiachicago.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Jake Arrieta, and you're watching the home for Cubs baseball, CSN Chicago, presented by State Farm.
Which I'm sure earlier this year added a few years to Brian Price. That's deep, and it's going to go for Russell. Deep left, as you were asking. Gone on the Waveland.
That's high and deep. And it is 6-2.
Much different fortunes for Chicago's baseball teams. Hi again, everyone. Welcome into Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. I'm Mark Shanowski. Cubs trying to get back to their winning ways against a Reds team they've dominated throughout the season, while the National League wildcard race might go down to the final day of the season. Turns out to be another rough day for the White Sox in Kansas City. Those stories and more straight ahead on Sportsnet Central.
To Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
Well, as you know, Jason Hamill fighting an uphill battle to be included on that Cubs playoff roster. He tried to continue a season of strong starts at Wrigley Field facing the Reds. Hamill had not allowed a run against Cincinnati over his last 3 outings, but that would change pretty quickly in this one. Pick it up in the second inning. Brandon Phillips at the dish, and he gets all of that one. Solo shot to right center that gets out in a hurry. Number 11 on the year for Phillips gives the visitors a 1-0 lead. Hamill cruised to the middle innings, but then he ran into some trouble in the 6th. Hernan Iribarren rips one into right center field. Jason Hayward not able to cut it off, so it goes all the way to the wall. Iribarren is safe at third with a triple with only 1 out. That brings up the hot-hitting Joey Votto, who's had another monstrous second half. With the outfield playing deep, this pop-up in his short center is going to fall in no man's land. Dexter Fowler can't get there. That's a base hit for Votto. Drives in a run. It's now a 2-0 Cincinnati lead. Red starter Tim Adelman went 6 scoreless, but Addison Russell starts off a big 7th inning rally, goes deep to left for a solo homer, his 21st of the year. Finally, Cubs are on the board. The fans have something to cheer about. And they're not finished. 2 batters later, the rookie catcher Wilson Contreras at the dish. You can tell by the catcher's reaction that's not coming back. Ball winds up on Waveland. Contreras a tape measure shot. Then after a Chris Coughlin double, it's Dexter Fowler's turn.